We are joined once again by Pavlina Osta. She, as I had mentioned, and I just gave a long soliloquy on how great you are and how many people would want you to be related to them because you're an example of greatness for a young person.
Oh, thank you.
And that's why they should read 20 Things Every Motivated 20-something Should Know. What motivated you as a 20-something to write a book about 20-somethings?
Yeah, so I started off the book with, you're never too young. So really what kind of inspired it was I had learned so much from starting off in radio at the age of 11 to, having that radio show until I was 18 and then corporate, climbing the corporate ladder, once I moved to New York, just everything I've learned with all the celebrity interviews I've done. I thought it was I should write a book on this because I wanted to help inspire and motivate young people, or whether they need that inspiration and motivation to get going, or if they're too afraid to start something, or if they are entrepreneurial and they're already got their thing going, they'll definitely relate to it because it talks about all of those struggles and the fear of failure and the imposter syndrome and just all of these different things that are so helpful for young people today.
Now, before we got cut off, I had mentioned it was National Grab Some Nuts Day.
Yes.
Somewhere in here, I'm going to, use a double entendre, but somewhere in here, do you talk about in the book, grabbing some nuts and taking that plunge and really believing you can do something? Like everybody's motivated, but then they got to actually go for it, right?
Yes. So in my book, I am very, I think it's very intense. It's very you got to go for it and not be shy, just go. Basically, I very much, talk about the importance of, motivating yourself and having confidence and the importance of all of that in order to succeed. So yeah, it's definitely in there.
No, yeah. I mean, I think I'm with you. And, me and you have had, side sessions where we talk about sometimes you got to, if you believe you got the plan, sometimes you got to just do it. Everybody sits there planning and tinkering, and you're never going to open something perfect. You got to open it and launch it and then see where it's broken, keep working with it. And that's the only way real inventors and real entrepreneurs get going.
Absolutely. I can sit and plan something until the cows come home because I am such a planner. I like to have everything laid out. But when you keep doing that, you'll keep finding new ways to plan it instead of just jumping and going into whatever it is that you want to do. And then you just sit in the planning phase forever. And it's yes, you can modify once you get started. But the biggest thing is getting started. I cannot stand when people just sit on their feet or, sit on their hands and they just don't do anything. Oh, I'm planning on doing this. Well, when are you going to do it? You know what I mean? So that's something I really cover in the book, just by
how
important it is to keep going.
I'll give you a John Tabaccoism. If you want to steal it, you can. But my brothers and I have opened a number of businesses over the year: nightclub, bar, lounge, all this other stuff, right? And as you get closer and closer to launch date, you're like, we're missing a piece of molding there, and the ottoman didn't come in for this thing, right? And I always used to say, let's just paint it black, right? Because when you lower the lights and put the music on, start handing out drinks, people aren't looking in the corners for a piece of molding. You make a note, we got to fix that. But paint it black is how you get started. Patch a few things together, just get it launched.
Absolutely, it's all about doing. Because you're gonna be learning so much. You're gonna be meeting so many new people. Once you start that ball rolling, that's all that really matters. And you can fix the other things as you go along.
That's right. Yeah. So I noticed that in motivational section, you were #1 ahead of Fox News' Greg Gutfeld, whose book just came out. You were ahead of him.
Right.
So you must really be raking in the dough over there on this Money Monday.
I mean, Amazon takes a good chunk, but yes, it's doing really well, and I'm super, super happy with it. It was such a process to write the book, and it was so exhausting because I am pretty OCD when it comes to a lot of different things. But to hold it, I was just oh my gosh, here it is. I was just so happy with it. So, and I'm really glad it's doing as well as it's doing.
All right. Well, I'm going to go on and buy a couple copies for my daughters because one is a 20-something and one's about to become one. So I want them to learn some of your secrets of success. Thank you, Pavlina. You're the best.
Thank you so much, John. You guys are great.